when I was at YIVO, the first 7 years that I was there, which was from like 1987 to 94, it was sort of, in a way, a transitional period because there were still some of the old guard of the Vilna YIVO were still there. So, you know, it was interesting, you know, to meet all these some people who had like been you know, partisans and made bombs, and people who, you know, had learned Yiddish, you know, through the YIVO in Vilna, who weren't even originally Yiddish speakers, but who came to the language, you know, much the way that my generation did. And you know, plus, so there were this old guard of YIVO, and then there were all these people who were like you know, my age, who were sort of, you know, learning about what was at YIVO, what, you know, where the material came from, the importance of it, and thinking of ways to, you know, get these, you know, cultural artifacts, you know, available to people. So I was working there. Jeff Chandler, Henry Sapoznik, Jenny Romaine, Daniel Sawyer, Michael Alpert, Jeff Salant, Roberta Newman. You know, I mean, it was like a big list of people. Zachary Baker, of you know, relatively young people who were, you know, pretty idealistic and you know, really curious and excited and creative. All these people were there at the same time, so that was pretty amazing. I think that there was and of course Adrian Cooper, and Sam Norwich. I think you know, in a way they were ambivalent, because on the one hand they certainly wanted people to be able to use the materials, and for, you know, people to continue collecting materials to add to the collections, and for YIVO to have a presence. I think that they were also very protective. So I think it was difficult for a lot of them. And of course, you know, the Yiddish level, the Yiddish speaking level of the people, of all these younger adults, you know, ranged from people who you know, were you know, completely fluent, to people who didn't speak it, who really didn't speak at all. So I think that you know, there was you know, that sort of thing. So you know, it was comfortable in its kind of discomfort and like dysfunctionality, if that's a word. You know, it's like when YIVO first started, when I was there, I think there were 3 different computer systems, 3 or 4 different computer systems, because no one could really decide, you know, which way to go with computers. And you know, then there were people who, you know, some people who were conversant in typing Yiddish on the computer, some people who could never get the hang of it. You know, and the building was really inappropriate for, you know, it was a nice building. It was on 5th Avenue and 86th Street, so it was like right in the middle of the museum district, and it was this beautiful old mansion. But it was always kind of, you know, kind of dingy and and a little like not, you know, not really appropriate for, you know, for what the you know, the treasures that were being stored there. You know, they really needed to deal with that. But it was sort of, in a way, I suppose it kind of reminded them of Vilna in a way, because of how it was set up.